Hey, welcome back, watch fans. I got breaking news from my nephew Kino. That's right, the Rolex Insider. This is straight directly from Geneva. We're going to give you some insider information here. Um, Kino is telling me that the Rolex Datejust 41, that's right, the minty green and the blue, those beautiful, beautiful dials. Like, I think those watches are future classics, okay? The Datejust 41, I believe, is the best iteration of the Rolex Datejust that they've ever made. And I'll tell you why in a second. But my nephew Kino is telling me that those watches are at those are on priority list for mass production. So those massive factories that Rolex, the big assembly lines that they just launched, right? The priority is to pump those Datejust into the market. So do not be window lickers, crayon eaters, tomato cans, lollipop suckers, and do not pay these boiler rooms a premium. Okay, that watch, what is it? Is it 8,500, 9 grand, 9,200, whatever it is for retail? That is, do not pay more than that. I think you should be able to actually even get that at a discount. That's right, discount at some point. But my advice to you is this, my friends. In my opinion, that Datejust 41 with the blue dial and or the green, the minty green, are future classics, and here's why. Okay, so by the way, on the wrist is the Rolex Turnograph, a kind of a forgotten classic. These are going to make a big comeback. This was, of course, the watch worn by the Air Force Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds are kind of the SEAL Team 6 of the Air Force. Okay, so you guys don't understand it, but okay, you heard of the SEALs, right? The Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6. The Thunderbirds were the SEAL Team 6 of the American Air Force. Okay, and they wore these watches back in the late 50s, early 60s. These were given to them. And this was actually the first Rolex, first real Rolex sports watch with a rotating bezel for the timing function. I've done a whole videos on this, how the Submariner, GMT, they all came as a result of this, the Yachtmaster, all that. Now, this watch is gonna, people are gonna kind of wake up to this at some point in the near future. I believe this is gonna happen. But the Datejust, in my opinion, I actually do want to get one of those Datejust 41s. I tried one on. I thought it would be too big on my wrist. I thought it would be too big, and you know what? It was actually good. It was actually a good fit. Maybe a little big, but nothing too crazy. It was actually good. It was good, like a Yachtmaster. Let me tell you what I love about the watch, okay, and why it's a future classic. It is the perfect iteration because it is a clean, pared back design. The big problem that most of these watch companies, look at this dial, right? You don't realize how messy the dial is, right? Because we've gotten used to it. This is how they've been making these watches for, decades, almost 100 years. There's 5 lines of text plus a logo. You see that? There's 5 lines of text plus a logo. Do I need to know that this is a superlative chronometer, officially certified, Oyster Perpetual? Do I need to know these things? I don't. I really don't. 1 line of text, 2 lines of text is all I need. Okay, I don't need all this. I don't need a whole whole long story. Okay, I don't need the yellow pages. I don't need the 1989 Manhattan yellow pages on my wrist. And this is kind of an old marketing thing. Back in the day, companies they try to describe the product, and like on cars they had labels. This is super turbocharged. Whatever. It's like back in the 60s. Now most connoisseurs they want to have less. They delete. They actually, a lot of Porsche guys especially, they delete. There's an option. I think you got to pay extra to delete some of these badges because it's a cleaner, slicker look. And you know what? Look, people who know, they know. Okay, you're not here. You don't need to impress anybody. Okay, when if you have like something that's very special. Okay, the true connoisseurs, the aristocrats, the cognoscenti, they know what you have. Okay, like I don't need nobody. The average riffraff, the hoi polloi, they don't know what this watch is, right? And now here's the thing, right? When you have that big dial, the thing is, when you expand the size of the dial, when you go to 41 millimeter, all of a sudden you got a lot more space, right? So yeah, the dial has room to breathe. It has room to breathe. And take a look at, for example, at AP. I love AP. And if you look at the Royal Oak, right, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Look, for me, I can only wear the 37 millimeter. Otherwise, they get just too big, just the way the watch is designed. But the dial looks much better on the what is it, the 39, 41, whatever it is, right? Much better. Why? Because it has room to breathe. Okay, it has room to breathe, and you can really get the full experience of the dial. And you know what? Let's face it, guys. We're buying the watch not to tell time. We're buying it for the dial. We're basically buying. It's like a little work of art. I mean, I know it sounds a little kind of corny and whatever, but that's really what it is. Because look, on my phone, I can tell the time on my phone. Much more accurate. I can use a digital watch, much more accurate. An Apple Watch or whatever. Those things are much better, actually, much more practical, right? But when you have that watch on your wrist, it's a piece of art. You look at it, it gives you like a certain emotional feeling. That's really what it's about. It's about getting an emotional feeling. I think people who wear these digital watches, whether it's an Apple iPhone, whatever the fuck they call it, Apple iTunes watch, or the Samsung, the Casio, whatever. These people have no soul. Okay, these people are basically like they're like they probably eat Wonder Bread. They eat that white bread every day. They eat probably white bread and tuna fish. They probably eat the same type of lunch every day. They probably have sex in the same position every day, if they actually get to have sex. It's the weird people, the digital people. The beauty of wearing this type of watch is you're getting a piece of art on your wrist. That's really what it's about. You look at it every day, you can smile. And the Rolex Datejust 41, it's the perfect size. It's just perfect. It's you can't go bigger because then it'll be just it look goofy. And at 36, it just doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough of a canvas. It's like you have such a beautiful composition that you want a nice canvas. You got to have the right size. It's like certain paintings, when an artist has to make a decision. What size should the painting be, right? What's the proper size for his composition based on the colors and all that? The reality today is, most art collectors, contemporary art, they want big. They want big. They want a big statement piece, because most of them are, the kind of, everybody wants big. In America, everybody wants something that's big, but the right size is really something that fits properly in your space, which in many cases I think would be, let's call it U.S. I don't know, 40 by 50, something like that. That's a appropriate size, something like that. That is that. So when you go, but if you go too small, then it kind of would get lost in a room. So this watch, again, it's on my wrist. It looks okay, but if I had this at 41, it would be better. But guys, do not make a mistake. Do not buy the Datejust 41 in champagne. That is suicidal. Okay. The Datejust 41 should only be bought in mint green or blue. Okay, mint green or blue. You want those big, beautiful markers. You want stainless steel. You do not want the two-tone. Again, I love gold. I love two-tone. But for that watch, you want that clean, minimalist aesthetic. I mean, they really nailed it. That watch is absolutely perfect. Now, again, they're going to be pumping out millions of those watches. Do not pay a premium. Do not buy it from a Muppet Boiler Room channel. Don't be a tomato can, okay? Have some patience, and you're going to get the watch, because Rolex is going to be making a ton of those. They're going to be making a ton of those. And you know what? I believe what's going to happen is, in a couple of years, I don't know if they're going to discontinue it, but I think that watch is going to be a future classic that will, it will definitely stand the test of time. definitely will look amazing 50 years from now, 100 years from now. It's it is the type of watch that you could give to your kids, pass it down to your kids. I know everybody's like, they buy into that corny, bloody bullshit, but that watch is so classic. It's so classical that I don't see anything. I don't see anything changing culturally, which would make that watch obsolete, irrelevant, or tacky, like brown corduroy bell bottoms. That's something that was only in fashion for a short period of time in the 70s. But again, this watch, get the watch. Do not pay retail. Leave your vicious and nasty comments below, all you nasty punters who watch these videos. And by the way, if you have one of these, let me know how long it took you to get one from your Rolex authorized dealer. How long was the wait? Probably not too long, because again, they're pumping these out. Okay, this watch is like a what do you call it? This is their moneymaker. It's the moneymaker, the big moneymaker. Okay, and they're going to be cranking these out. And again, do not buy the other garbage. You only want these two colors: the mint green and the blue. Nice, clean, with those big, luminous index markers. It's just a stunning watch. And again, you want it with a smooth bezel. You want the smooth bezel with a Jubilee bracelet. And why is that? Because that is the minimal look. The Jubilee bracelet, it gives it the Rolex look. It's distinctive. Anybody can see from 100 feet away that's a Rolex. And it's the dial, the bezel. You want the smooth because it looks more modern, it looks more clean. Clean is the operative word. The whole watch, it just has a clean look. Okay. And when I say minimalist, I don't mean minimalist in a bad way, where everybody's like, oh, boring. No, I mean like it's just perfect. It's like what's the Japanese word for a perfect combination? No, it's not. It's not Zen. I know everybody in LA uses that word. It's it'll come to me. But it is actually an unbelievable piece. And some of them are quite ugly when they do the champagne dial, or they have the what is it? What's the bracelet? The classic Rolex. What do they call it? The not the crown. With the little. The classic Rolex thing. That bezel is beautiful, but it's just too obvious. I think with a smooth look, and you do the Jubilee, then it's just perfect. Whereas the Oyster bracelet, which is the big flat links, I think those are quite boring. So if you do like that, then you should go with the classic Rolex bezel. I think that's, you have those two. But if you do both, you do that crown. What the hell do they call it? The Rolex classic bezel. But if you do that and the Jubilee, it's a little too much. It's a little too 80s. It's too Rolex. You know what I mean? You want to have something that's unexpected. And again, I think if you do this combination with the Jubilee smooth bezel, you're going to have kind of an interesting classic. I don't want to say that they're going to discontinue. I don't want to play that whole game with discontinue bullshit. But maybe they will, maybe they won't. Who knows? But either way, that look, I think, is gonna be very interesting, very classic, and you will not regret making the buying decision, as long as you don't pay above retail. I think maybe even at a discount very soon. I think those things might drop to discount levels for a short period of time. Because again, look, they are going into mass production. Okay, they get new factories. They need to fill the Bucharest stores with inventory. And I think that's where a lot of the inventory is going. We already know that the precious metal watches are dropping in price faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse in 1989. Okay, they're already going for discounts in Asia, according to my nephew Kino, also in the Caribbean. If you go to, I think that my nephew Kino probably goes to, what is it, Dominica? That's right, Dominica. Has anybody even heard of Dominica? That's actually a little island. I think that is actually where Christopher Columbus first landed. That's actually the place where he actually landed. So that is where these guys are getting their Rolexes in the Caribbean, because look, maybe not a lot of people are going there. Who knows? You go to some place that's kind of out of the way, you may have a good chance. You go to some third world country, like Mexico, you may have a chance. It's interesting. I've actually, when I bought that 5396, the Patek, on the what do you call it, the certificate, whatever comes with the dealer, the stamp. The stamp was actually some like Mexican city I never heard of, or village, I don't know, never heard of it. It's somewhere in the middle of Mexico. I was actually surprised. I mean, because look, Americans think that Mexico is, they're all poor people living in tin shacks. I mean, the reality is there's a lot of big money there. I mean, obviously not the whole country, but there's a lot of people with money. But so I ended up Googling this this address on Google Maps. Google Maps is amazing, right? And sure enough, it came up on Google Maps. The storefront, you see the streets. I mean, the Google is everywhere, right? And it's like, it's crazy. It's like you see this little square. It's like it looks like a Spanish colonial square. I mean, look, this place looks like it's straight out of 1780 or something. It's like this little area, clean, nice. Like just the middle of nowhere. And apparently, I bet there's a lot of they get allocations, right? They get some allocations, and there's probably not that much demand. There's probably a couple wealthy locals, and then you got some backpackers. Maybe you got these backpack dealers. I think that's probably what happened with the watch that I bought. Probably a backpacker got it there, because the watch was basically unworn. I mean, the watch was, like mint. And I bought it at a discount. If I remember, I paid $48 for that watch. List price was $56. That's the Patek 5396 R with the baguette diamonds, the blue and the rose gold. Also, big smooth bezel, just like the Datejust 41. The problem is, on the Patek, that bezel will get you into a lot of trouble, because if that thing gets scratched, it's you're done. It's like this. You don't want to get these things scratched, because you got a lot of on there and stuff. But a steel, steel is okay, not a problem. It looks better when it's scratched up, and especially the Jubilee bracelet. Nobody's gonna notice the scratches on that Jubilee bracelet. So I think that is actually a very smart decision. Anyway, enough of the rambling here, my friends. Leave your vicious and nasty comments below, and I will see you all on the next video.